Sydney Wanderers.
Following businesses for their support for the 2025 season. Community Bank Freshwater, Brown Brothers Skip Diggers, Ray White, Woodvale Mazda, Manly Spirits, DY RSL, Lions Sport Travel, BME Balgala and Monovale, JE Metropolitan, CMS Surveyors, Auto Body Smash Repairs, Woodvale Aluminium, Amazon Power Estate, Benedict Recycling and Building Materials, Blue Dog Science, Helper, MB Marine, Oxford Falls Grammar School, Vine Apparel, Holiday Estate, Loomis, Manly Pacific Sydney, Metronics, Riggs Brookvale, Grill, and Best. Now don't forget to head down to the canteen behind the northern goal for tea, coffee, cold drinks, snacks, hot food, or one of Chroma Park's famous chicken strips or rolls. And if you're after a meal or a drink, the Licence Club, the Far Post, is open from midday every Saturday and Sunday in the Queensland side.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is the tradition here at Chroma Park, we do have a representative from the Mandarin Football Association acting as mascots for our first grade team. This week, our mascots are from Wakehurst FC. So if you see the boys and girls in orange, make sure you give them a big cheer. Our mascots for Manly United from Wakehurst FC.
Okay, testing, 1-2, Friday night football from Chroma Park, the home of football in the Northern Beaches. Round 25 NPL Men's New South Wales. Yep. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Friday night action from the home of football on the Northern Beaches, Chroma Park, and it's Manly United hosting Western Sydney Wanderers. Two teams looking for a strong finish to the season. Manly still win with a chance of finishing in the top half of the table for 2025, while for the Wanderers they're in a heated battle to avoid the bottom two come the end of the season. 3 points certainly very crucial for the youngsters from out west. Eric Subihana here with the commentary. I've made the commute up here to the Lucas Neal stand at Chroma Park for tonight's action. And I'm delighted to be here. It's the usual kits for the host Manly United, mostly Royal. Season, by the way, Cocker with 6.
Ladies and
Then
gentlemen,
number
we're all
19,
set for a start of NPL
Gunnovich.
New South Wales men's between your Manly United FC and the Western Sydney Wanderers.
New speakers here at Chroma Park, so I think I'll try and pause whenever the grand announcer is talking. But yes, number 19 is Alan Gunnovich. Number 23, Darcy Burgess. Number 26, Harry van der Sar. And number 28 is Jasper Chipman. And young Jasper, as the whistle is blown, we're underway for around 25 action here in Chroma. And it's a immediate turnover, of course, by Manly. Dummy from McCarthy. Ocello looking for the return ball. McCarthy, decent first touch. Tries the back heel, but then it's all Wanderers and it is cleared. Yes, going back to kind of the last play I read in the Manly starting lineup. Jasper Chipman might have gotten a little bit of a thrill when he saw who were the player mascots for this evening's game, because those kids in orange are from Jasper's junior club, Waycoast. The Wanderers keeping it down at this end of the field. Quarter to the right of the Lucas Neal stand. Oh, that's actually topical. Lucas Neal, another Wakehurst junior. Cameron. It's all set up for the long throw. The big lads, Tilt and Franson, are up from the back. And Cameron, he hurls it. That's quite the long throw the young man has, and the header is in. And the Wanderers, well, they planted their flag here at Chroma. It's a great header. Barely a minute on the clock. It's Wanderers 1, Manly 0, and Anthony Barbich. Anthony Barbich has risen above the pack. It's just the start that Richie Cardozo would have been dreaming of at a ground he would know very well, of course. The set piece. The set piece has absolutely paid off for the Wanderers. And what a hurl that was from Jesse Cameron. Well, Manly got the harshest possible warning in the early stages. Cameron sent one flying Megan Campbell style into the 6-yard box. Barbich escaped the defence, and it's 1-0 to the Wanderers. Well, there we go. Those of you that have tuned in, we thank you for your support of NPL Men's New South Wales and the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. And we got quite a bit of early excitement, especially for those of you with Western Sydney loyalties. I did mention that that battle at the bottom. Just a clarification, because it is a newish system to decide relegation from this division, and therefore also promotion from the tier below. Football New South Wales League One Men's, a very entertaining comp, if I do say so myself. As Manly are playing it around the back is Aganovic, Manly captain, and Darcy Burgess could be under a little bit of pressure. Now, strong tackle from Aganovic. I think he dispossessed Abdul Rahman. It's out off the Wanderers for a throw on the far post side of Chroma Park. Let's just get my table up. But yes, Wanderers going into this one, second from bottom. The team that finishes second last in this division will be face up with a two-legged promotion relegation playoff from the team that finishes second in League One Men's. But fine margins at the bottom of NPL Men's this year, as it tends to be the case. There's the team in last. Currently, Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Only goal difference separates those two Western Sydney rivals. The team that finishes last in this division automatically relegated to League One Men's for the 2026 season. Hovering just above the bottom two, Central Coast Mariners in 14th place on 18 points, 1 point above the Wanderers and Mount Druitt. And Sutherland Sharks far from safe on 20 points in 13th position. For what it's worth, Manly United in 11th on 27 points and 5 points away from the top half of the table. Jimmy Seddon's side. But that gap a little bit larger than Manly would have wanted, because the team occupying 8th place is the team who beat them last weekend down on the south coast. That is Wollongong Wolves. Alizard. There's a dummy, but a dummy to nobody. Manly United throw coming up. the young Wakehurst kids to the right of our filming position, very excited. Possibly a little bit too excited. I wonder if our mics are picking up on that. They can't burn themselves out just now. They got to play a small-sided game at halftime. So, yeah, I think the advice to chill is very sage advice. As Kay sends that over O'Donoghue and out. I reckon enough time to go through the bench. For Manly, bench options, backup keepers Anthony Carreras, as well as Jesse Perez, Max Pengelly, Max Martinello, Kai Evans, and Will Falder. Actually, everyone apart from Perez, I believe, was played at least some part in the under-20s game before this one. Great result for the home side. Manly United winning in 20s by a goal to nil. A goal from Max Martinello, clean sheet from Anthony Carreras. And as things stand, Manly United 11 points clear of second-placed RPL Leichhardt in the under-20s comp. Of course, it's the first game of the weekend, so Apia do have a game in hand, and wouldn't you know it, Manly United are away to Apia next weekend on Saturday night. So possibly some big milestones coming up in the near future for the Manly United under-20s. By the way, they've been excellent all season. It's been enjoyable, certainly, watching them as in the first game on these Friday night football outings. There's O'Driscoll with the interception. Yeah, it's a big credit to Manly under-20s coach Millard Poppelsay for how the team has played through the whole of the 2025 season. Anyway, back to first grade matters. Header from O'Driscoll, breaks for Chipman on the far side, and Coco on the run, but the run, I think, stopped pretty quickly by Alizard. Now down the line again. That's a nice run from Rossello and a nice pass to find him as well. He's got 3 with him in this attack. One of them is Coco. Threads it through and to the byline, but over the byline, so that is a goal kick. Oh, it's good to get that info on. It's good to get that info on the under-20s game just before this one. Somehow Manly United managed to sneak that in with a post on their socials just before first grade started. Amazing how that works out. Anyway, the Wanderers bench. You could see Lachlan Henderson, Oscar Morrison, Dalla Sandi, Joshua Chetanich, Max Hately, or Lachlan Allen later on. And Apologies for the gap in my Wanderers Academy knowledge. I'm going to guess, based off squad numbers, that the backup keeper will be number 80, Lachlan Allen, as actually his Wanderers side are on the move with Cameron. Alazar. And then loses out Darcy Burgess now for Manly. Back to O'Donoghue. McCarthy, a little bit of space. Not a lot. Tries to roll over, but he's taken it over the sideline. But yeah, Lachlan Allen on the Wanderers bench, number 80. That's the most goalkeeper-y number, because the other numbers on the bench being 2, 3, 7, 12, and 19. So, reckon number 80 is the backup keeper. Chop. Now, 1-2. And McCarthy again, but he was crowded out. And he's got a battle for it. He plays it back. And O'Donoghue clears it towards halfway. Headed up, more than forward by tilt. But it does work out. It's in fact Cameron working it back to Franson. The pressure immediately coming from Coco. So he goes back to Sinnott. And the out ball there is on the far side. I think that's Alazar. And Wanderers happy to keep it at the back for now. Aiming for Abdul Rahman, a recent recipient of an A-League scholarship deal, so well done to Alat Abdul Rahman as Manly win it back. Here's O'Driscoll, and then escapes Van der Sarg and is taken over by Bardovic, the goal scorer for tonight's game. If you've just joined us, it's a tough one if you're a little bit late joining the stream, because second minute goal from Anthony Bardovic as Western Sydney Wanderers 1-0 up over Manly United. Of course, it's a YouTube stream, as that is allowed to bounce by both teams in the box, but of course it's a YouTube stream. If you missed the goal, just click back and watch it. About 70 seconds into the game or thereabouts. Good diagonal from O'Driscoll finding Coco. And back to Chipman. Now, it's through. Here's Meek. And Meek cuts it back. Darcy Burgess shoots, but that's way off target. So, so kind of the first real shot in anger from the hosts. And Darcy Burgess making a well-timed run to the edge of the box. But the shot, not what he was looking for. Aganovich going long, but it's too long for O'Donoghue, who, by the way, is a former Wanderers Academy player. That's again, Cameron again using that long for it to gain, well, at least temporarily, very temporarily, a lot of meters, but was defended well by O'Driscoll against Lual. So I mentioned the battle at the bottom of this division. Might look, going to see what fixtures affect that, the bottom four. And actually, tomorrow 4 p.m, Southern Sharks host Wollongong Wolves in what I like to call the Princess Highway Plate. I think that's the nickname I settled on. Other teams down at the bottom. Mount Druitt hosting RPL Leichhardt 5 p.m. tomorrow at Popondetta Park. And the Mariners, meanwhile, Sunday 3 p.m. at Plume Park, It's a battle of A-League academies with the Mariners hosting Sydney FC. Now that's, well, it was Kopp stepping in and winning a free kick. So another attacking set piece opportunity for the visitors. Take this time to just make a quick recap of the action. 13th minute here at Chroma Park. 1-0 to Wanderers over Manly United. Goal in the second minute from Anthony Bardwich, assisted by a gigantic long throw from Jesse Cameron. And now it is Badalato. Looking at this set piece. One in the wall. And it's a flat delivery. Wanderers flying in, but Manly defended well. And Rossello looking to pick a pass. One for Donahue to chase, and Rossello possibly actually might have been someone else. My apologies, but yeah, Manly player collected late. And that relieves the pressure for the hosts. Now the Wanderers press, and it goes back to Kay. Kay, aiming far side, and the bounce favours Wanderers. Header from Maganovic off the throw. Another header from Van der Sar. And then it's almost going to settle for either side. Badalato in there with a tackle, but then footwork not favouring Al-Azhar that time. Not a lot of space for Manly as they try to break out of here at the moment. And then, as the Wanderers try to take advantage, off a Wanderers boot, spins out for a goal kick. I might as well mention the other fixtures that, of course, just like this one, you can watch free of charge on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. What haven't I said yet? Oh, yes, 5 p.m. tomorrow is at Jubilee Stadium. It's Sydney Olympic hosting St. George City. And actually, it's a Sydney Olympic home game. We'll get back to that as Lucas Meek has had a great first touch. Player free in the middle. Here's McCarthy. Harry McCarthy! And it's wide to try to keep it alive into the side netting and out for a goal kick. And Meek was unselfish. Saw McCarthy was in a much better position. And ball swinging away from the far post for the Manly number 10. Yes, as I go on one of my famous wild tangents, just thinking Sydney Olympic hosting St. George City at Jubilee Stadium. Back when St. George City were in the second tier, they did use Jubilee Stadium as their home ground. It's definitely a very St. Georgie ground. Jubilee Stadium, of course, I think actually has the headquarters for the St. George Football Association, if memory serves me correctly. But anyway, it's an Olympic home game. Now, Burgess. And then the dummy from McCarthy. Then he'll get the ball from Meek. So, McCarthy is offside. Other games coming up on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel this weekend. Well, how about this game? 7 p.m. tomorrow at Marconi Stadium at the Palace. It's a matchup fit for a king or a queen or a non-binary monarch because it's the top two clash with the second place Marconi Stallions hosting league leaders Spirit FC. The men from the Arctic Circle, well, the Arctic Circle is on top of the world. The men from the Arctic Circle on top of NPL Men's New South Wales heading into this weekend, but not a lot splitting Spirit and Marconi. Only goal difference. Both on 52 points, but David Perkovic's men with the advantage. Plus 26 goal difference to Marconi's plus 19. As O'Driscoll protects Kay so he can pick it up untroubled by the press from Lual. But anyway, 7 p.m. tomorrow. That's going to be a great game. Marconi versus Spirit at Bosley Park. Other games I haven't yet given a shout out to. So the two other, in addition to Mariners versus Sydney FC, Sunday 3 p.m. Two other games at the same time slot. Rockdale hosting the boys from Adensa Park, and also St. George FC hosting Blacktown City. Back to tilt. Actually reminds me, because St. George FC, of course, are using Barton Park these days, so that'll bring me to tonight's edition of Canteen Watch with Eric Subihana, because I was at catch-up League One women's game on Tuesday night. St. George FC hosting SD Raiders. I'll get back to that as the Wild shoots. Great block from O'Driscoll. But yeah, the Barton Park Canteen, absolutely fantastic, even on a weeknight, because good to see that St. George had opened it, not just for the senior women's games, but also for all the various training sessions being held at Barton Park on Tuesday. And delighted to report the canteen was doing a pretty good business from what I could see. I recommend the lamb souvlaki next time here at Barton Park. Swung in and not properly cleared. O'Driscoll will clear it. Coco gets a touch on it, but it's all Wanderers, and Cameron will start again. Back to Sinnott it goes. Cameron played it behind the run of Abdul Rahman. O'Driscoll bounces it off Van der Sag. And back it goes to Levi Kay. Kay's found Rosella. That's good movement from Rosella to find space. Burgess now, and the player out wide is Coco. Does have runners, goes direct. Was Rosella onside? We're about to find out. Flag stays down, but then, well, sad to say the two Wanderers defenders got the better of it, but Rosella almost ended up with getting a shot anyway. It was cleared just in time by Ricky Franson. It was a rather booming clearance from Franson, so this ball's going to take some bit of retrieving. So thanks in advance to whichever kind spectator does that. O'Donoghue prepares for the throw. Decides to go back to O'Driscoll. Now, it's with the defenders, but left back O'Donoghue stayed high as he can, hoping that he can be found, but not, unfortunately, for the hosts, not with that pass. Sorry, I'm just marveling at that long throw for Jesse Cameron. I mean, when as Manly played out as Coco far side. Just going back to those Cameron long throws. When he hurls it, the ball goes further than some people when they go on their holidays. There's a challenge on the far side. Who's the touch off last? Off Wanderers last. To the, shall we say, disagreement of Ricky Franson. It will be a Manly throw. O'Driscoll, a centre circle. Will make its way to O'Donoghue, although the chop was interested. And now the Wanderers press. It's forced the ball backwards. It's forced a turnover. So here's Badalato. Now Budrich. Abdul Rahman. And then the first time pass not working out. Burgess. And I think there was the shouts from Lucas Meek who wanted the early ball. Burgess holds on to it. Holds possession. And then Van der Sag, you can see what he was trying to do. Did hit it with topspin, trying to get it to drop into Meek's path. Instead, it's cleared by Sinnott. Good clearance from Sinnott as well, making Manly fight for it in their own territory, and they've won it back. Here's Rossello with the runner ahead of him. Farakoko. And they double up on him, do the Wanderers. Koko holds it up. Chipman is starting to run. Meeks the target of that one. And they'll play on. And ends up being thrown to Manly United. Not a lot of space. Meeks battling for it. I think that's Chipman, but he's been stopped. Aganovich now looking to recycle. Burgess, there's an option to the left, who is O'Donoghue. Whips it in, and good header from Franson. Now left-footed cross, aim from McCarthy, and he stooped. Got some kind of touch on it, but not directing it goalwards. Great cross though. And in my eyesight being far from the best in the commentary team, judging by colour of boots, I think it was Rossello, the left boot, who nearly found, who nearly put it onto McCarthy's head. I think McCarthy just reaching a bit too much in the end, ball swinging away from him. Abdul Rahman battling against Aganovich and does play it out wide to Al-Azhar. Al-Azhar cuts inside. Aim for chop. Work out for Cameron. Cameron tight angle over the angle of the post and bar. Score stays 1-0 to the Wanderers over Manly United. Friday night action here at Chroma Park. Eric Subihana with the commentary. Yes. The start that has been just what the Wanderers needed as they battle to stay out of the bottom two come the end of the season. Rossello again finding a pocket of space. Now Meek first time. Burgess is the wide option. Wants it on the right boot. Crosses, and that is the first corner of the game. So the left footer, O'Donoghue, will trundle across, aiming for an in-swinger. And Cocker and, oh no, not Cocker now, he's moved away, but Rossello, closest to the keeper, Sinnott, trying to put the keeper off. Here we go. And Franson in the best position, and he heads it clear. Abdul Rahman looking to hold it out. Chipman didn't let him turn. Actually, it's pretty good defending, all things considered. As per one of my favourite sayings, an attacking set piece is an opportunity for both teams to score. Well, not when Jasper Chipman defends the outball like that. Header from Chipman. And Van der Sarg, I think that's actually might be a bit of number 26 on number 26 crime there. So Barwich has fouled Van der Sarg. Coco has space to turn. There's a couple of players close to him. One of them is Rossello, low into the box, and Meek ready to pull the trigger from inside the 6-yard box, but the player who set up the opening goal, Jesse Cameron, read the play well and has played it out for Manly's second corner of the evening. Everyone back for the Wanderers. O'Donoghue delivers. Keepers up. Good punch. Cocker now. Runs to the corner flag. The support comes for Cocker. He decides to go back to Chipman. That'll allow the Wanderers to step up, and Lucas Sinnott is, shall we say, encouraging his teammates to step up. That's a little win. Richie Cardozo will be pleased with that. Defending a corner, and they've managed to be patient, kind of force, if that makes sense, Manly to pass the ball back to the keeper. Now they have it. Batalata first time over the top, and always runs on the synthetic turf, especially the newer ones like what we have at Chroma. Levi K sweeper keeping duties, and yes, that's one for your Chroma Park bingo card. A ball boomed into the property that Peeler own, the neighbours of Manly United. So that's a job for somebody on a Monday morning, retrieving the ball. Now, it's an interesting battle here with O'Donoghue, who's a direct opponent. It's good body strength from O'Donoghue, and then he wins the throw. Shall we say, the Wanderers have been very organised in this opening half an hour or so. It's definitely not been easy for Manly to play it out from the back. So it's aimed back to O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue will find the open player, who's Chipman. Now Aganovich, the pressure's coming. Plenty of white jerseys in the vicinity. And then Barbic kind of taking over for the visitors. Tilt first touch a bit heavy, and it could be a runner free through the middle, who's Lucas Meek, but more good play from Jesse Cameron. Having a great game so far. And he's got there ahead of the American speedster. Now, heavy fall for O'Donoghue. It's going to go out, so yep, I think we're going to have a stoppage so that O'Donoghue can be assessed. That was uncomfortable, so I hope he's okay. So while O'Donoghue's being assessed, let's look at other games that are being streamed on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel this weekend. In the second tier, League One men's, the match of the round is tomorrow at 7 p.m. from Adensa Park. And actually, while we've seen some signals that suggest O'Donoghue's participation in this game will be over, which is very unfortunate. Early sub, I think, coming up for Jimmy Sneddon. It's going to be, looks like it's going to be Max Martinello. Actually would be a left-footed defender just like O'Donoghue, so straight swap. And I think Martinello coming on earlier than I think he would have anticipated, but as I said earlier, it's been a good evening for Martinello. Scored the winner in the under-20s game. That was Manly 1, Wanderers 0. And now we will look forward to about an hour of action in the first grade contest. And yes, back to streams coming up. Yes, that tomorrow night, that League One men's match of the round, 7 p.m. Bulls versus University of New South Wales. That's the two of about 6 or 7 teams in the League One men's promotion race. It's a very fascinating contest. Led by Northern Tigers, but they were defeated on the weekend. Last time out by SD Raiders at Ernie Smith Field 2, the synthetic field down there in Moorebank. And there's not a lot of points separating the top 7 teams in the second tier. Now, we'll briefly run through, I think, the NPL women's action, which you'll be able to watch on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. All 7 games from this weekend's round, which is round 21, the women's comp, on Sunday. So another Super Sunday in the women's comp. The action starts not too far away from here at Northbridge Oval, 2:40 p.m. Sunday, with Bulls FC Academy hosting Western Sydney Wanderers. And at 3 p.m, and a bit of a venue change for this one, 3 p.m. at the grass field at Valentine Sports Park, field number 1. It's Sydney Olympic hosting Spirit FC. It's 4 NPL women's games at 5 p.m. Manly United away to RPL Leichhardt at Lambert Park. So that's That's actually a big one for the finals race there. I think Apia 4th and Manly United are 5th. The 4 teams final series in the women's comp. Good to see the round of applause coming from O'Donoghue. So he's good enough to walk off the field under his own power, but no risk being taken.
Number 3, Matt O'Driscoll. Matt O'Donoghue, apologies. Number 3, Matt O'Donoghue. And coming onto the field is number 15, Max Martinello.
Okay. So just confirmation of that. Max Martinello, the straight swap, the direct replacement for the unfortunate Matthew O'Donoghue at left back for Manly. As Meek trying to get around Tilt. Tilt plays it out for a throw-in. I'll try to drip feed these other women's games that you can watch on Sunday. So also at 5 p.m. on the South Coast, Illawarra Stingrays versus Northern Tigers. Another 5 p.m. women's kickoff on Sunday. It's the Lena Karmas Derby, Mount Druitt Town Rangers hosting MacArthur Rams, as well as the Battle of the Students, Sydney Uni versus UNSW. Long throw from Martinello. They want to match Jesse Cameron's efforts from earlier in the game, and it hasn't been cleared. Still isn't really cleared, although the Wanderers are trying to settle it on the edge of the box. And I think there's Rossello trying a back heel for Van der Sarg, and then Rossello fouling Abdul Rahman, and he's the first player into the notebook. Just to complete that thought of NPL Women's Round 21 on Sunday at the always strange kickoff time of 5:10 p.m. from the Arctic Circle, Gladesville Ravens hosting Newcastle Jets. And if you're wondering, does the whole GYL program for Ravens home games start 10 minutes later than normal? No. All their kickoffs are at the same time as other clubs, except for first grade, which kicks off at 5:10 instead of 5 p.m. I will never not be aggravated by that. Nutmeg pass, I think, or at least Van der Sarg tried a nutmeg pass. It doesn't make its way to Coco anyway. But now, Wanderers turn it over. There's a little bit of room. Hope try to keep it centrally, but O'Driscoll was in the way. Now, centre back run coming up. O'Driscoll to Meek. And Meek, no forward options. Backwards to Martinello. And then all the way back to Levi K. There's one of the Wanderers defenders shouting out the pressing instructions as well. So on-field communication, of course, important as Tilt booms it forward. Good header from Shipman in response. Oh, another flying header from O'Driscoll. McCarthy with a flick. Doesn't find someone else clad in blue. Now, well, Cocker trying to apply the pressure. Franson does get rid of it. It doesn't really settle the Wanderers, though, but then it might have been a late one. And Abdul Rahman, well, Martinello has to be sharp, and indeed he does. He does clear it, throw in right by the corner flag, and I think we know what's happening next. Jesse Cameron will be warming up the shoulders. There's no attempt to hide the Wanderers' intentions from here. No short option. Here we go. It's a very crowded penalty area. All right, almost to the penalty spot. Lual trying to get the flick. It's not dealt with. Kind of shouts for a pen, not really. Cameron tries again, this time with the boot. Loops up, and then the flag's up from the assistant near side, followed by a Wanderers failure. Hitting the synthetic turf, but not sure why, but I think that's going to be a free kick. To Manly United, infringement committed against Levi K, and he'll have to wait. He can't play it quickly because we're checking on the Wanderers player. That's Franson, who thought there was something untoward. Maybe after the whistle had blown, but I don't think we're going to see any further sanction from anyone, or for anyone. Chipman going long for Meek. Decent battle, and he almost got the better of Lachlan Tilt that time. Now Cop back to Cameron. Clever header by Driscoll, and as Martel tries to turn, it was broken up by Badalato. Arate and has the overlapping run from Alazar. Look at the speed on the number 33. Clips it in, and Driscoll heads away. Now Burgess taking over, and then Martinello. The little flick from Meek. If McCarthy can keep his feet, he might have some options to his right. One of them is Rossello, and Rossello has bisected Coco and Chipman there, playing between the pair, two of his teammates. Approaching half-time here at Chroma Park. It's Western Sydney Wanderers leading Manly United by a goal to nil. Friday night action here at Chroma Park. Goal in the second minute. Anthony Bardrich off a Jesse Cameron long throw. And watch job not half done yet. Not even half done yet, but a very promising start for the Wanderers. But they have to be alert. Good run from Rossello. Looking for McCarthy. It will set up for the number 10. Martinello already forward in support. Martinello. Does the cross take a touch? It does. So I think that's the third corner kick of the first half for the hosts. Sinnott shouting out the instructions, as you really need from your goalkeeper at any defensive set piece. It's going to be Cockle looking for an in-swinger. So Cockle delivers to the far post. It's over O'Driscoll, and very nice, safe pair of hands from Sinnott there. The Wanderers trying to break. That's not anything that Awan the Wild was ever going to catch up to, so it's left for Levi K. Okay, getting a few touches as the Wanderers slowly start to squeeze the space, but he's found Burgess. And then back O'Driscoll. Sorry, that's Ganovich, my bad. As Chipman tries to play it forward. It's all Wanderers there. And that will work nicely for Cameron. Cameron looking for Cobb. And he'll bounce it back. Cameron will keep a hold of it. And there's Tilt, but Tilt couldn't find a way through to a teammate. McCarthy trying to glide past two players. Still McCarthy. As he brought down. He was, but legally. Now the run from Arate to find Lual. And Aganovich clears it and was also fouled. Yes, Lual going in late on the Manly captain. McCarthy rolls it forward. Coco, some one-touch passing to create room for Rossello, and he does have a few runners. One of them is Van der Sarg. Rossello cuts inside and finds Martinello. He does get there before the defender, and he's just inside the box. So more defending to do for Cameron. Martinelli, can he trick his way past? And then that is some expert shepherding. Defenders love a shepherd over the goal line. Perfectly executed by Cameron. Sinnott waves everyone forward. It's going to go long. Now, slammed into Van der Sar. Ball goes up. Van der Sar's going to challenge again. Handball against Van der Sar. As Badalata aims sideways for Alizard. And Jimmy Cisnetta, Manly coach, encouraging his players to press. Doesn't work out. Touch there from Meek. Doesn't fall McCarthy's way. And it's cleared out near the far post, the licensed club, opposite the Lucas Neal stand. Probably should be a good company man and just remind people. So on Monday, NPL Men's Team of the Week will be released. Compiled by 321 votes from the media. We've got a media member present at each game over the weekend. And if you have any gripes with the Team of the Week, just remember, if you have any gripes with the upcoming NPL Men's Team of the Week, just remember I didn't vote for any of it. So that's... Anyway. Corco does. The bounce does favour him, and now McCarthy's got two ahead of him. Even Martinello charging forward from left back. But it does go the other way with Meek. 1-on-1 against Alizar. Back to Chipman. Chipman, does he go direct? He does. It's McCarthy with the header. Aiming for Coco. Kind of a half clearance, but Burgess takes over. Even O'Driscoll is right away past halfway. But the Wanderers organisation good once again. Meeky's drifted out wide. The overlap from Chipman. Yes, just in case our mics didn't pick that up, although these new Lucas Neal stand speakers, I'd be surprised if the mics didn't pick that up. Anyway, 1 minute time added on, or a minimum of 1 minute time added on, to be technically correct. And yes, I'm sure that's a goal kick, yeah. For a moment, some Wanderers' body language didn't match the signals of a goal kick, but yes, that's right. Thought that was off Lucas Meek last. And Lucas Sinnott very unbothered, as we're almost at half-time. I suppose shameless self-promotion time. My next commentary gig, the League One Women's Match of the Round, Women's Second Tier. Sunday, 5:30 p.m. from Football New South Wales headquarters. 5:30 p.m. kickoff. Hills United hosting Sutherland Strikers. As the Wanderers maybe with one last chance, but O'Driscoll is in the way. And then Martinelli will try to run it out, but that's all the action we have for the first period here at Chroma Park. Yes, just to clarify, it's the Wanderers who will be much happier as they head into the dressing sheds. 1-0 leaders over Manly United. Second minute goal from Anthony Barbic. Great long throw from Jesse Cameron to set it up. Eric Subihano here with the commentary from the Lucas Neal stand. We will take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half. Welcome back for the second half of Friday night NPL Men's New South Wales action from Chroma Park. Manly straight on the attack as Coco crosses it straight at Lucas Sinnott. By the way, how about the timing on the halftime music with a song stopping right as the second half was due to begin? That was incredible. Also pretty good timing with the goal that separates the two teams. It was Anthony Bybich in the second minute heading home from a Jesse Cameron long throw. That's put the Wanderers into the commanding position, but plenty of football still to be played here on the Northern Beaches. So they're scanning the jersey numbers at halftime. Manly United have not made a halftime sub. Cocker can't catch up to that ball. Pretty confident the Wanderers have not either, so it's as the teams were to begin the contest, with the exception, of course, of the unfortunate sub after about half an hour, injury to Matthew O'Donoghue of Manly United. He was replaced by Max Martinello. Speaking of Martinello, the touch, unfortunately didn't take the ball with him, but he has at least secured the ball for his side as O'Driscoll plays it through, and Lucas Meek was offside. So we might, excuse me. Let's confirm the lineups for people that missed me doing it in the intro. I think I'll start with the host, Manly United, so 4-3-3 roughly for them. In goal, number 1, Levi Kay. 4 at the back from left to right is number 15, Max Martinello. Number 2, Aaron O'Driscoll. Number 19, the captain, Aaron O'Driscoll, and number 28, Jasper Chipman. Now, I've noticed Manly are down to 10 because for whatever reason, as the Wanderers attack and the cross comes in straight at Levi Kay, Harry van der Saagh's had to leave the field unexpectedly. So, yes. So Manly down to 10. Not sure. But I hope everything's okay with Harry van der Saag. I'll complete the rest of that formation. So when he comes back, Harry van der Saag will be part of Manly's midfield trio. He's number 26. Alongside number 8, Stefano Rossello, and number 23, Darcy Burgess. And the 3 up front for Jimmy Sned inside. On one side, one flank, number 17, Farah Coco. On the other side, number 10, Harry McCarthy. And leading the line is number 11, Lucas Meek. Now, this is Alazard for the Wanderers. He plays it in, but it's away by Aganovic. And then does a break for McCarthy. That's an unfortunate one. The foot gave way just as he was about to turn. Lual looking to be the target forward, but he can't bring a teammate into play. And it's Burgess to take it away for Manly. Let's check the Wanderers shirt numbers. Yeah, I mean, long-time followers of our commentary will know that halftime subs are not my friend, as there's a flick on from Meek to Coco, who stayed on side, and Coco to the edge of the box, looking for the room, but he does not end up tricking his way past those two Wanderers defenders. And where was I? Yes, pretty sure as I look at the Wanderers players up there. Yep, Richie Cardozo did not make a substitution at halftime either. Aim to the far post side of Chroma Park with Max Martinello. They go left to right. Coco's a bit deeper. Wanderers staying as organised as they were for a lot of the first half. They have been very, very organised without the ball, presenting Manly quite the challenge as they look to get back into this game. Diagonal from O'Driscoll, but it's Alazard stepping in ahead of Coco. And then Koko can't flick it to keep it in play. Okay, so there we go. Van der Stark's back on the field, and Manly will have kept it a game in a holding pattern pretty well. No shots on their goal in that time. I think it was really one cross that Levi K had to catch. Now that's the through ball. Lual will not catch up to that. So goal kick. Now, tumble from Meek. Foul committed. Manly set piece in opposition territory coming up. Van der Sar gets us back underway. And Koko, well, he was left unmarked, which is unusual. So it was a set piece, and Koko, good trickery, gets it back. Koko looking for the reverse ball. Rossello across the box. It's a tap in, and the flag stays down. So Lucas Meek has equalised. And it's Manly 1, Wanderers 1. An absolutely brilliant team move, starting from the set piece near midfield. One-touch passing left the Wanderers bamboozled, and it's Manly United 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. Manly goal early in the second half, matching the Wanderers goal early in the first half. The unselfishness from Rossello. Could have shot himself, did not. Teed it up, rolled it across the face of goal. And now Lucas Meek, he joins Farah Koko as a Manly's top scorer for the league season with 6 for the campaign. Crucial one for the folk from the Northern Beaches as well. And that is a goal I did actually enjoy watching that on the YouTube stream. And my laptop in front of me. That was sensational. So, Wanderers, all that's left for them to try and re-establish their lead. Set piece, and Alizard delivers, swinging away. Kay stays on his line, not cleared at least at the first attempt, but there's Burgess preventing a shot and running it out of the box. And touch, I think, the Manly body language. They let that run, so clearly off the Wanderers. It's Van der Sark playing it back at Van der Sark. He started that move that led to the Manly equaliser. He saw Koko was in space out wide, and Koko did a lot of the heavy lifting with the trickery to move inside and play the 1-2. And he released, it was Koko releasing Rossello, and Rossello eventually setting up Lucas Meek for the equaliser. Now Rossello on the ball right now. He will shoot, but that's off target. McCarthy blocking the way forward. Now Chipman's on the move and blocked the pass forward. Good anticipation from the United right back. Now he'll overlap as Koko once again, looking to get past white jerseys. Chipman delivers. Swings it and straight at Lucas Sinnott. Which probably... It's Alizar to Abdul Rahman. Chipman applying the pressure, and the pressure leads to a turnover. Chipman back to Aganovic. Aganovic sidesteps the pressure to find O'Driscoll. Wanderers keep pressing. It's gone back to Kay. There could be an awkward hop off the turf, but Koko's dealt with it well and wins the throw-in off Arate, although Arate trying to trick the officials by confidently grabbing the ball, but definitely off him last. And that'll run through till Levi K. Now they try to build from their own penalty area. Chipman down the line, that's looking for Meek, and Meek play the first time ball. Koko is quick, but so is Franson. That's back with Sinnott, the Wanderers shot stopper. Sinnott again, left-footed to go towards midfield. Abdul Rahman does hold it up for Alizard, but Alizard cannot get past Burgess. Now Alizard with the throw in near halfway. He's Alizard. Trying to be it sneaky and gain some meters off the throw-in, but Manly have it back. Okay, to find O'Driscoll. Manly trying the left side with Martinello and McCarthy. I'll play it back. O'Driscoll now. This has been a pattern for a lot of the game, or at least a lot of the time when Manly have had the ball deep in their own territory. Is Van der Sar inside his own area, and with quite a few white jerseys in the proximity, as a decent touch by Franson off the chest, but then he kind of overruns it. Franson with a foot in there, and Abdul Rahman is forced backwards, but he has kept possession for his team. Battleato's dropped between the two centre-backs. He drops deep. Other players get a bit further forward. One of them is Abdul Rahman. He has a wide runner, which I think will be Cameron. Abdul Rahman to Cameron. Great lunge. It'll still be Wanderers' ball deep inside Manly territory. Kopp. And Kopp, it's the deck, but nothing happening for the Wanderers. Manly try to break quickly now. McCarthy. And McCarthy, the switch is on. Chipman is open. So yes, one Wakehurst Jr. finds another one. And Chipman curls one. Franson with the header. Now Arate for the Wanderers. This is generally the case in the second half of games. Things starting to open up a little bit. And chasing this one is Kopp. Martinello trying to shield, but he needed the second defender, which was Saganovic. And he clears. Rossello. Will that curl into Coco's path? It will. Great ball from Rossello. McCarthy making the supporting run, but Coco let it run over the sideline. Right. Well, hang on. So, okay. Free kick, possibly for handball against Coco. My apologies, thought it was a throw-in. Let's work back to Sinnott with Meek in close attendance. That's tilt forward, but Martinello did get the jump, but then a little stumble at an unfortunate time for Manly. And there's plenty of white jerseys forward here. Let's move left. Alazar's forward from left back. Outside of the foot cross, it's decent. And Cobb, that I could have seen that shot from here, and that's all I'm going to say. Now that's broken up, and Wanderers once again causing Manly problems with their high pressing. It has found its way to McCarthy anyway. And McCarthy with composure. Naganovic, here's the shouts, and it does make its way to Coco. Great turn, and Coco with some space in front of him, as well as the support from Rossello, but Franson with a strong tackle. Wanderers attacking. Alazar getting forward again. Can't find the wall. Van der Sark slowing it down after we've had a pretty fast tempo to the second half. It's 63rd minute here at Chroma Park. Manly United 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. Naganovic, which goes straight to Arate. There's Wanderers forward here. One of them is Abdul Rahman, and does he get the shot away? Well, there's the shot, and the outside of it was Burgess firstly with the block and with the great tackle, and then a block of a shot from about 8 yards out. And in the end, goes wide. Bardovic not able to add to his tally for his evening with his shot off target from the edge of the box. Yes, recapping the goals. Yes, Anthony Bardovic is heading the Wanderers in front in the second minute off Jesse Cameron's long throw, but so about the 50th minute or so, obviously 52nd minute, a wonderful team move involving about half the Manly United team. Some great quick passing in tight spaces. And eventually Lucas Meek scoring, assisted by Stefano Rossello. Now, we'll see subs from either side. I reckon Will Folder, attacking player who's been doing brilliantly for the Manly United under-20s this season. He's getting ready to come on in the number 29 jersey for Manly. And for the Wanderers, number 7, Dalo Sandi is about to come on, as there's the turn past the sliding challenge. Now to Abdul Rahman, but no, because Chipman got in the way. Chipman is also giving Darcy Burgess a wide option. He aims centrally, finds Coco, and there are 4 forward in this attack. Coco shoots from range and scores! Farah Coco puts Manly United in front. And he bided his time. There were runners, but he had the space to go himself. He's put it top bins, and they've come from behind. Manly United now lead 2-1 over the Wanderers. A sensational strike. That is Farah Coco's 7th of the season. Another quick break. go. And another length of the field run for Levi Kehi. He's been brilliant this season, and he's well within his rights to join those goal celebrations. Yes, so
substitution for your Manly United FC, making his way from the field is number 8, Stefano Rossello, and coming onto the field is number 9, Will Folder.
So 66th minute subs, that by my watch. Dalo Sandi, number 7, replacing number 9, Alat Abdul Rahman. That's for the Wanderers. And Will Folder, number 29, replacing Stefano Rossello, who's had a great game in the number 8 jersey for Manly. Of course, Rossello has had a good game, but as I look at my notes, he is the only Manly United player on a yellow card. Do wonder if that's played a part in Jimmy Snedder's decision to substitute him. Now Burgess with the touch. First touch taking him forward. Dances past the defender. He's got the runners. Can't find Folder. Will Folder does have one first-grade goal already for Manly United. It was last year. I think he's got only one, but it was a pretty good one. That if you are quite a long memory with regards to the NPL New South Wales socials, it did make it onto the NPL New South Wales socials pages. First-time flick off a corner kick away to Sutherland. The middle of last season for Will Folder, as Aganovich breaks it up. McCarthy has room, he looks up, and there's one to chase for Meek. Meek, 1-on-1 inside the box. The support is coming, cuts it back to Coco. And some shouts for a penalty from the crowd. Referee in a great position. A position as great as his mustache, actually. And no decision forthcoming. Coco will get up in back play. Keep an eye on him, but yeah, he's okay. Just getting up, and he will join the play once again. Just trying to see how the two teams have set up after those recent subs. Yeah, Dalasandi looks to be pretty much in attack on the ball right now, so that would be pretty much a straight off for Abdul Rahman. I do wonder, Folder for Rossello. He's gone out wide, so not quite a straight swap with him replacing Rossello. And as the Wanderers try the left side with the new player, Sandi, but Manly getting plenty of bodies in the way, forcing the Wanderers to be patient. Arate outside of the football. Aganovich, does he lose out? He does lose out a little bit to Awan Luwal. Lays it off. Arate looking for the curler, and not the curl, nowhere near the curl that he would have wanted. So as I continue to look at how Manly set up, McCarthy did that start this game out wide, just one of the front three. I think he's dropped kind of into midfield, kind of similar to the role Rossello was playing for the opening 66 minutes. That's allowed Will Folder to play out wide. He's lining up, at least for now, on the left side of Manly's front three. For his part, Dalasandi looks to be part of the Wanderers front two alongside Awan Luwal. Double sub coming up. So I see number 3, and that would be Oscar Morrison, and number 19, Max Haitley, getting ready to enter the fray for the visitors. Flicks backwards off Francis' head. Then headed forward by Tilt, but only as far as Burgess, who finds Martinello. Again, Manly forced to go backwards in the face of Wanderers' pressure. Kay does great to find the outball, who is Martinello on the far touchline. Meek lays it off. Burgess. Meek thought he was fouled. Referee disagrees. As Oscar Morrison and Max Hately continue to wait before they can enter the field. Ganovich diagonal too long to find Falder. So, yeah, that double sub's going to come up now. So, who's leaving the field for the Wanderers? So, number 24, that's Tristan Arate.
Substitution for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Making his way from the field is number 24, Tristan Arate. And coming on the field is number 3, Oscar Morrison.
Yes.
Along with that, we've also got making his way from the field number 26, Anthony Barbic. And coming on the field is number 19, Max Hatley.
Just to clarify, players leaving the field for the Wanderers, yes. Number 24, Tristan Arate. Number 26, the Wanderers goal scorer for tonight, Anthony Barbic. Alisard. Now, Oscar Morrison. So look at him. I wonder if there's a change of formation coming up. I'll see how the white jerseys are lined up. That perhaps Richie Carter has a feeling that something different is required now that the Wanderers are behind. A game that the Mount Druitt, Central Coast and Sutherland will watch with keen interest, of course, as there's the header from Max Hately, which goes wide. Maybe not a change in formation, my apologies for the Wanderers. But looks like Oscar Morrison's in central midfield. So, more or less replacing Barbic in that central midfield role for the visitors. And as Levi K shouts out instructions, and yeah, it's another little win from the Manly. Now that they're defending this lead, they force it all the way back to Sinnott, the goalkeeper. And then the ball that goes out near the Manly technical area. Shipman will go backwards to his skipper, Naganovic. Hately's has definitely joined the front too, so he's now alongside Awan the Wall up front for the Wanderers. Dalasandi, kind of a more wide midfield position now. Look at that space that McCarthy has found. Options either side. One of them is Coco. So Coco, he's 1-1. Delivers first time. Runner at the far post, and Sinnott doesn't gather it, but Cameron's done enough. Lucas Meek was offside as well. Meanwhile, Manly are going to prepare a double sub of their own. That's what Jimmy Snedden's cooked up. So number 4 is Jesse Pires coming on. Also coming on, one of the players who's been part of that Manly United, successful Manly United under-20 team that leads the under-20 comp. And number 25 is Kai Evans. Kai Evans, 9 goals for the under-20s this season. And Will Ford, man, to hold that thought.
Also for your Manly United FC, making his way from the field, number 23, Darcy Burgess, and coming onto the field is number 25, Kai Evans.
Yeah, so just to get that confirmation of that from the ground announcer. I think this is a little bit of a change of position for players out there. Jasper Chipman started at right back. He's now in midfield, I think, so Jesse Pires can play at right back. That's, of course, because of Darcy Burgess leaving the field. Now, Will Folder now playing in midfield as well for Manly so that Kai Evans can play out wide. And Folder with a touch. And it's Hately dropping a bit deeper. Wanderers settle it, but in their own territory. So to hold that, complete that thought, the top 2 scorers for the Manly United under-20s now on the field. Will Folder has 11 this season. Kai Evans has 9 for the under-20s. And Manly player down in back play, so we'll have a stoppage. I think we'll see if the physio is waved on in just a moment. Now, physio not required. Good to see. Jasper Chipman okay to continue. Now, we haven't seen one of those. Actually, this will be the first Jesse Cameron long throw of the second half. As we saw in the second minute, he can do plenty of damage. Everyone back for Manly now. They definitely know what's up. And these Wanderers, there's plenty of tall lads for Jesse Cameron to aim at. Here we go. I mean, Morrison up there, but instead it's Manly doing well enough. And play it down. Back play once again, so we'll have a stoppage. And yeah, the physios onto the field. Just got to make sure this isn't a kind of head injury. So it's a bit of urgency, but we hope that particular player is okay. Might be Chipman again, judging by who's still standing up. He's been excellent tonight, Jasper Chipman. As I think he can see sitting up. So Chipman will have to leave the field, but at least it's nothing. You would think if he's getting up more or less unassisted, you'd think it's nothing serious. So, uncontested drop ball to the Wanderers. We're back underway. We'll try and keep an eye on Jasper Chipman as they go through the various checks. Once again, Manly facing a period down to 10 players. It's a big test here for the hosts. As O'Driscoll chases, Hately does get there first. Cross coming in. It's going to be over. Sandy might break for Alazar. Shoots and might be a tap in here. And he stayed onside. Awan Lawal stayed onside. And slams it home from close range. So it's an equalizer for the Wanderers. It's now 2-2. And Alazar with the ball into the danger area. Luwal certainly in the right position to score his 6th goal of the season. Capitalizing onto the ball into the danger area from Al-Azhar. And we're now set for a fascinating final 10 minutes here at Chroma Park. A bit of a false start from the restart. The Manly players getting to opposition territory before the ball kickoff had been taken. So, 4 goals. Plenty of action for Friday night here. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the 2025 NPL Men's New South Wales season. Still 10 minutes plus whatever stoppages the ref chooses to add. Certainly there's still plenty of time left for more drama. Another twist in the tail. Falder is fouled there, so bit of a breather coming up. For Manly, at least they can step up. Sandy drops deeper. Down the left side for the Wanderers. Al-Azhar getting quite high. That's with Sandy. He's looking centrally. Morrison. Battalato. Plenty of blue jerseys in front of him. He pulls it into one of them, who's Chipman. Good to see he's back on the field. Now Falder for Manly. Long ball leads to Tilt, cushioning the header, but then Battalato give it a bit of a tricky one to deal with. And then Tilt hooks it over his head. Wanderers doing well to keep it in the field of play. And then they play the ball straight at O'Driscoll. Teams just need to settle. This is the time for a cool head as Van der Sar goes from range, and Sinnott looking comfortable watching it go over the bar. Before our broadcast finishes tonight, I might just give one more plug to the other games we're showing on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel this weekend. I'll drip feed that over the remaining 10 minutes or so. Firstly, tomorrow at 4 p.m, the Princess Highway Plate from Seymour Shore, Sutherland Sharks hosting Wollongong Wolves. And Sutherland Sharks definitely not safe in their battle to avoid finishing in the bottom 2. As Evans, was he taken late? Yes, he was, and ref's not impressed. There's going to be a card coming up. Looks to be the substitute. It's number 3, Oscar Morrison, into the notebook. Other games that you could watch in the NPL Men's New South Wales comp this weekend. 5 p.m. tomorrow from Popendetta Park. Mount Druitt Town Rangers hosting RPL Leichhardt, with Will Constantinides on the call there. By the way, Sutherland Sharks versus Wollongong Wolves, the 4 p.m. game tomorrow. That'll be called by Lockie Flanagan. Also at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Sydney Olympic versus St. George City. From Jubilee Stadium with our Irish friend David Feeney on the call. And then 7 p.m, the top of the table, NPL Men's New South Wales clash from the Palace Marconi Stadium. Marconi Stallions hosting the league leaders, Spirit FC. I think it's getting the appropriate match of the round treatment I see on my roster, as that's a foul committed by Falder. I think Jude Dolan has a socials duty for that game at Bosley Park between Marconi and Spirit. Then 3 NPL men's games Sunday, all at 3 p.m. Central Coast Mariners host Sydney FC. And it's at Plume Park, which therefore means that the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor, will have the commentary from Lisarow. Also at 3 p.m. on Sunday, it's Rockdale Illingdon versus Sydney United 58. We had Nicola Posner on the call there. And then in that Sunday 3 p.m. time slot, St. George FC hosting Blacktown City at Barton Park with Alex Molchanov on the call there. And if it ends up being different, the roster changed after we got it. There's also the second tier, the League One men's match of the round tomorrow, 7 p.m. from Medensa Park. Bulls FC Academy hosting University of New South Wales. 2 teams still in the promotion race up to this division. Manly, they don't want to be this deep, but it's the Wanderers with the ball. Showing their patience, probing, trying to find a winner. And did draw first blood in the second minute. And it's a good response from Richie Cardozo's team after falling behind. But Chipman, clean tackle there for Blue Jerseys on the far side of the field as we look at things. But the Wanderers have shifted over and covered it. No way through. Alazard and Pires lunges, deflects it towards Kopp. And now Cameron, right in front of the far post. Battalato and Koko's down in back play. And as the cross is delivered, flicked on, and it could be an open shot for Sandy. And he's put it over. Manly won an offside flag, which wasn't coming. Big chance for Dalasandi. Didn't quite get his foot over the ball, and the chance is gone. Now Cocker back up, and the physio wasn't called on. So, well, Manly, they did concede that equalizer while they were down to 10 players because Jasper Chipman was being checked just to make sure there wasn't a head knock. So they'll be grateful. The hosts will be grateful that they're not short-handed again. Meek challenges in the air but can't win. No. Oh, this could open up. Hadley, decent first touch, but Aganovich with the tackle his team needed. It will be a corner. But Hadley was about to run a through on goal. The captain doing what was required for the hosts. Now, others are providing the short option, but I think that's just a decoy. Kopp looks like he wants to go direct. Oh, actually, it's a variation. Plays it deeper to Cameron, and Cameron shoots from range. Can't get past the crowd. Now, Manly stepping up with urgency. Evans leading the charge. He does well to block Battleato's pass forward. Franson going centrally. Doesn't work out for a while. Pires is in the way. But this is what the Wanderers are looking for. A chance to turn the screw. And yes, as I think that is Cameron indeed moving over to the left side of the field as the Wanderers look at it. In fact, there we go. So Wanderers sub has got a towel over to dry the ball as well, just so Cameron can get a better grip on this. Hurls it into the middle. Wanderers flying through the air, but Kay catches that. A looping header. About to see how much stoppage time is about to be added on. Final minute of regulation. Decent run for Pires, and there's open players to Manly's left. One of them is Kai Evans. Martinello's charging forward on the overlap. Evans trying to cut inside. Takes a tumble, but does keep it alive. Chipman scoops it well to Martinello. He crosses. There's plays up there. One of them's Pires, and Jesse Pires has scored! And Manly are back in front. 3-2. One fullback setting it up for the other one. What a cross from Max Martinello. Perez was free in the middle. Lucas Sinnott did his best, but he couldn't keep it out. And just as the board for stoppage time goes up, we're going to have a minimum of 4 minutes additional time. It's Manly United leading 3-2 over Western Sydney Wanderers. And Jimmy Sneddon shouting out the instructions. He knows the job's not over yet. So I reckon because we haven't even restarted, well, we're going to have a lot more than 4 minutes time added on. And there was one more twist after that Wanderers equalizer from Awan Lual with about 10 minutes to play. A flying header from Jesse Perez, who is great in the air. He's good for at least one goal every year. And with his head, such as his aerial prowess. And it could lead to 3 crucial points for the hosts, but there's still a lot of defending to be done. Martinello, fresh off setting up that goal. And now Farakoko with the keeper off his line. He lobs it, and that's going to be relatively straightforward for Francis to deal with. Jimmy Sneddon trying to make sure the defensive shape is spot on, because it's certainly going to be tested in the few minutes that remain. In fact, they've chucked Lachlan Tilt up as an additional forward. It's kitchen sink time for the Wanderers. They did lead for a fair bit of this game. And they also came from behind once. Now the job is to do it again. And there's not much time left. Now Morrison plays it in, and a shove that is about as subtle as the jokes are making commentary there from Leon Alizard. And the number 33 with, or for you Formula One fans, the number 33 with a shove that is about as subtle as Max Verstappen defending his position. Anyway, before we break, perhaps might fit in one last plug for the women's games we have coming up. There's 8 women's streams on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel this Sunday. For me, the most important one is, of course, the game that I'm calling, which is the second-tier match of the round in League One Women's, 5:30 p.m. Sunday at Valentine Sports Park, with the runaway league leaders, Hills United, hosting Sutherland Strikers. There's also all 7 games from the women's top tier, NPL Women's New South Wales, on Sunday, starting at 2:40 p.m. And Bulls FC Academy captain Liz Gray, she's been head and shoulders above a lot of the league for the way she's played this season. She leads her Bulls team against the Wanderers Women's Academy on Sunday, 2:40 p.m. 3 p.m. in the NPL Women's Comp from Valentine Sports Park. Sydney Olympic hosting Spirit FC. There's 4 NPL Women's games at 5 p.m. RPL Leichhardt host Manly United with the Soviet Martin Tyler Nikola Posner on the call. Also at 5 p.m. on Sunday, Illawarra Stingrays versus Northern Tigers with Tim Gibson doing the commentary. Out in Western Sydney at 5 p.m. Sunday, Mount Druitt Town Rangers hosting MacArthur Rams with our Maltese friend Mel Muscat on commentary. And also at 5 p.m, the Battle of the Students, Sydney University versus University of New South Wales from Sydney University Football Ground with the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak calling the game from Campertown. Then at 5:10 p.m. on Sunday, yes, I know, from the Arctic Circle, Gladesville Ravens hosting Newcastle Jets. This one breaks for Falder. And Falder then plays it between Coco and Evans, but Manly won't care because the minimum, should stress that bit, the minimum of 4 minutes, a lot of time is added, but I reckon there'll be at least 40 seconds more, and probably a bit more judging by my very unofficial stopwatch that I've kept here. Home fans insistent for an end to this game so they can pick up 3 more valuable points. Pyrrhus, with the head that he used to score what looks like being the winner, this time clearing it, and that is that. It's a big win for Jimmy Sneddon's Manly United. The caretaker coach has seen his team come from behind after conceding early to beat the Wanderers by 3-2. Just in case our mics didn't pick that up, let's wrap up the action from this 5-goal thriller. We hope you enjoyed our Friday night coverage of NPL Men's New South Wales. It was the Wanderers opening the scoring very early on via Anthony Barbic, and they took a 1-0 goal lead into half-time. Lucas Meek equalised early in the second half for Manly after a great team move, and then Farah Coco struck from range to put Manly 2-1 up. With about 10 minutes to go, the Wanderers made it 2-2, the close-range finish from Awan the Wall, but just as we were about to head into stoppage time, Jesse Pires, he's shown himself to be the hero in a goal-scoring sense for the Northern Beaches team this evening with a flying header off a Max Martinella cross, and that's how we got to where we are. It finishes Manly United 3, Western Sydney Wanderers 2. This is Eric Subihano signing off from Chroma Park. On behalf of Football New South Wales, today's camera operator Sophie and our broadcast partners Sportscast, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage of NPL Men's New South Wales for the 2025 season. Take care, stay warm, please enjoy whatever you get up to this weekend, and we will see you soon. What a thriller we've had here at Chroma Park. The final score here, Manly United 3, Western Sydney Wanderers 2.